PHP Functions Variable Scope. You can declare variables anywhere in a PHP script, but the location of the declaration determines the extent of a variable's visibility within the PHP program. This is where the variable can be used or accessed. This accessibility is known as a variable scope. By default, variables declared within a function are local and they cannot be viewed or manipulated from outside of the function. So let's see how this works. Let's go again. So we create our PHP script, PHP tag, and let's create our greet_me function again. So I will say greet, and let's assign this function. So let's just say word is equals to hello world, echo world. So what I've done here is I created a function, then I created a variable inside. This variable inside of this function is called a local scope because it is inside of a function. And because it is inside of a function, it cannot be accessed from outside of the function. So let's see it. So I'm going to call this function now, greet. This should work. As you can see, hello world works. Why? Because the function greet is where the variable is and we are echoing the variable. So everything happening inside here is inside of the local scope. What if we try to access this variable from outside of the function? And we can do that using the echo statement. So we say echo word. Let's reload. As you can see, it says undefined variable word. Why? Because this word was defined inside of the function greet, but is not available outside of the function. Only the greet function can use this variable, but any other function cannot see this variable, cannot access it. Okay, let's create another function called name. So I'll call this name, and I will just say precious. So let me put a break tag. So now we have two functions. So I'll call this one wordy. So if I reload, and let me call the name function. You can see hello world is called, precious is called. But if I also try to echo the second function, wordy, outside the function, see, I can still use it because it says that it is not defined because they are both inside of a function. Word and wordy were created inside of a function. What if I try to access word from precious, from the name function? So I will say precious. Let me put it at first. So I'll just say word. Okay. And let's see what it says. And you can see undefined variable word because this function cannot see a variable inside of another function. All right. So how do we create variables that can be used everywhere? This is where another variable comes that we call the global variable. So global variables or global scope are declared outside of functions and they can be used inside of the function. So let me create a function called, let me create a variable called fruit. I will just call this banana. Okay. So we have a new variable called banana. Okay, so let me remove these echoes so that we have a clean working environment. Now we have a global variable called banana. Let's try to access it inside of the function, the first function. So let's say hello world. Let's say hello world to fruit. And let's see if this function can see this global variable. And as you can see, it says undefined variable fruit. That is to say that this function cannot see this variable that is outside. So how do we make it accessible? We use a keyword called global. Okay, so to make this fruit available inside of the greet function, we use what we call the global statement. So all you need to do is just to say global, and what variable do you want to be global? Fruit. And it's going to make it accessible inside of this function. So if I reload it now, you can see hello world banana, because it has gone inside of the function and it has accessed this fruit, this banana that is global inside of here, and now we can use it inside of the function. And also we can also echo out fruit from outside of the function. So echo fruit banana, because it is global, so it can be accessed everywhere, and we've used this global keyword to also use the function, the variable inside of this function. And also you can also change the value. So what if we say fruit is now mango? So what happens if we reload? So if we bring down this one after the new declaration, as you can see, echo fruit, fruit is now mango. Okay, so what if we bring the function under the new declaration for fruit, that is now mango? So you see, okay, let me return the function. So what you can see exactly is that you can assign the variable and as a global variable, and you can also change the. So if we change the value and we bring the declaration of this function greet under the new variable, let's see what happens. And you can see hello world mango, and mango has been declared. So now you understand what it means to use the local scope inside of a function and the global scope outside of the function. So guys, this is it on PHP functions and variable scopes. See you in the next one.